Alrighty. The sun is just shining on us today. Hello, hello everybody. How are we doing? I know it's been a minute. I'm back. It's been a couple days. Sorry about that, but I figured today we'll continue. I'll just put out my tweet and then we can get right back into drawing. It'll be a little bit of a short one, but better late than never. So, let me just get that over and dealt with quickly, and then the sooner that's done with, the sooner we can start. We're just going to do some coloring, maybe some shading today. We've finally kind of mostly gotten past the sketches and that sort of boring stuff. I know it's been a minute, but hopefully you're all doing well. Let me just make sure that everything is alright. We're all functioning okay. I haven't burnt anything down horribly. Purple site's fine. Purple site is in fact okay. Perfect, perfect. Let me move on. Green site, everyone's alive. Perfect as well. Let me get the pop out for that as well so that I can see. Perfect. So I don't miss anything there like I did last time, or the time before that rather. Red site live, everything okay here? Perfect. Let me change the chat settings. Great, awesome. Okay, I'll center myself like so. There we go. I'll be in the middle like this while we're talking, while rating, and then I'll put out my tweet. But hello, hello everybody. Hopefully you're doing well. I know the time is a little bit different than usual, but we're aiming for, you know, around 8 to 9, depending. I know I'm all over the place, but that's okay. Tomorrow might be closer to the middle of the day, maybe like 12, either 12 or 4. I want to try streaming a little bit earlier because I know we have some viewers from across the pond. Okay, a tweet, posting that. And then we'll get started. Maybe a bit of a shorter one today, but otherwise, same as usual. Okay, let me take a little screenshot of this one. Okay. Did I get that? Yes, I did. Okay, screenshot this. Now post that on the Twitter. I know technically it's supposed to be called X, but I've never moved on from the old name. I don't know why. I guess it's just a habit. Heavy is the hand. I don't know where I come up with these titles, but it's always fun. Some of them are a little bit random. Sorry about that, but I still think they're kind of interesting. And then I will post the image. There we go. I might also do one on YouTube. I know sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you never know. Might as well let them know. I feel like half the time the community posts just don't do anything, but I guess it depends. I've heard mixed results. Perfect. Copy link. There we are. And then also twitch.tv. /Sheshire NB. I'm also glad my name isn't too crazy long, that way I can post it relatively easily. Okay, now we move on to the YouTubes, and then I will plug in the iPad and we can get started. It's only been 3 minutes, it's okay. That's actually faster than I was expecting. Go here, channel, come on. Create posts. Perfect. Live now. There we go, okay. And I will plug in the iPad now. So sometimes it's hard for me to tell if the tracking is working properly or not, because I feel like normally I should be able to wink like I'm facing directly against the camera. And sometimes it tracks it, and other times it absolutely doesn't. YouTube Studio is a bit of a crackhead, I think. Alrighty. There we go. Should be up in like 30 seconds. Wrong end. You know, I think I might actually start accepting the UNC label. At first I was like, yeah, but I might be a little bit too technologically illiterate for this. Ow. No, I disconnected VTube Studio apparently. Touching the wire was not a good idea. Connect. Hello, VTube Studio? Are you there? Studio. Mr. VTube. Damn, they're trying to sabotage me. That's nice. Come on. No? They're not working? God damn it, it's always something. Bear with me. It's okay. At least you have the Fugi in the corner. Now I'm putting on my coat. Now I'm taking off the coat. On. Off. On. Let's try this again. It's okay, you don't come here for the tech savviness. Can we? Because it's really not going to work, you know what? It's okay, we're doing some emergency repairs. Last minute repairs, everything will be fine. If this doesn't solve in 1 minute, we're just going to continue on. We're praying, we're crossing our fingers, we're hoping. Aha, it's working now. Now let me just get it onto the computer. There we go. There we go. Okay. 7590, perfect. That'll be showing in a minute. I'll just close VTube Studio. It's okay, I'm gonna walk you through what I'm doing. On the phone it works fine, but yet when I try and do it on the computer there's no... Okay, I died. That's great. Of course everything is scuffed. It's not normally like this. Now we open VTube Studio and we pray. We're praying, we're crossing our fingers. I'm not even religious, but any god out there, please. Okay. I might have opened 17 tabs, and that's fine. Oh, I opened 3 VTube Studios, that's not good. You know what, I can at least plug in the iPad in the meantime. We'll get that started. There we go, it's working. Okay, crisis averted. All saints preserve us. I'm back and alive. There we go, thank God. See, chat, I totally know what I'm doing. I'm so tech savvy, I'm so competent, so incredible, so demure, mindful, whatever the hell they say. Whatever the youth are saying now. Okay, Android. Perfect. And then look at that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. It's like nothing ever happened. Look at that. Okay, it's a little bit flipped around. That's okay. I want to be very mindful of... Nova, sure. Can I make a panel for you? I'm alright. Thank you, though. I appreciate it, but... I feel like if I needed anything, I'd be able to make it myself. We'd figure it out, but I'm alright. Thank you for the offer. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Name's Sheshire. Okay, this is set up now. Let me turn this around. I got the hand painted at least, and then we can continue with the rest of it. Let me move my crap out of the way. We're finally set up. Perfect. And there we are, and then from here, I can open up a little kick menu. I can see that now, perfect. And then also this little chat bit. Okay, I see everything. All is revealed to me. Okay, we're gonna continue. I was at the skin with Layna, so we'll just do that there. I don't know why there's that little black bar. Is that showing for you guys? Interesting. Let me, I might have to adjust this. Why is it doing that? Let's try this again now. Okay, there we go. No more black bar in the middle. Kick activity feed, perfect. And then that's open too now. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. We'll just start coloring the rest of the arm. Perfect. Just go down here. Is that the same color? Yeah, it is. Perfect. I never know. Sometimes I feel like the color grab doesn't work properly, and other times I feel like it does, but it doesn't look like it at first glance. Dun, 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 dun. Moving on like that. Get the skin. I can blur this later. Get the arm done like that. I can add blotches and kind of streakiness. And technically there should be some red at the other end as well, but painting down here. I will have to clean up some of this, because a lot of this, like the gem bits and everything else, is still pretty messy, but I can do bits and pieces of it, at least right now. Like this should all be skin tone. Like so. I mean, Monarch is mostly cleaned up anyway, so I can do that. Perfect. I feel like that's really it for Layna. The rest of it is going to be black, or she's wearing some kind of stockings or anything else, so there isn't really much else to do for the body. But from there, at least, I can move on to... I can do the hand shading, at least, for today. That's probably what we're going to work on. Let me find a better reference. There's this one. It's not incredible, but it does give us like the basic colors and everything else that we can use. Also, God, I was supposed to have a better mic and something else that I ordered, but apparently the company just decided to cancel the order on me out of nowhere, so that was nice. It delayed by like a couple more days, which is unfortunate. So we might be sounding a little bit different, maybe a little bit sharper, a little bit clearer sounding soon. Okay, we can have the darker shading and stuff here. Da, 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 da. And then I guess maybe we'll continue over here. More of that darkness, shading color, something like that. We can continue with the highlights afterward. I'm just trying to figure out, oh, get back in the tab. There we go. Doing like so, blend it. Da, 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 da. And then probably continue somewhere up here. Da, 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 da. And then there's going to be like a highlighted region, probably somewhere like that, but more shadows over here. I kind of need to figure out where everything is coming from. That'll probably help. We could maybe zoom in like so, but... Dun, dun, dun. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And I can move on maybe to the highlighted bit, but just a moment. Let me move this down, shuffle this around a little bit. God, I wish I could move it elsewhere on the screen. I feel like I normally can. I don't know why it's being stupid today. No, that's not what I was trying to do. Move this way. Move. Oh. Interesting. That's okay. That's weird. For some reason it's moving now. That's odd. Normally it doesn't want to move. No. It doesn't want to come up this way. That's okay. Interesting. Okay, now it's moving. Weird. I'm not going to understand this ever, but that's okay. I needed this bloody bit right there. Okay. And shrink that. I feel like, let me... The nails are probably relatively dark for the most part. We have that kind of glossy highlight, but we'll just continue with the shadows first. We'll do all the shadow first, and then we can figure out where the highlights are coming from. Dun, dun. There we go. Maybe I'll make the eraser a little bit bigger. And then we'll kind of just continue like so. Move it like that. Perfect. Dun, 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 dun. And then I will move on to... I mean, this is gone now. Maybe I should retouch up on that. It's okay. I'll just kind of go like so. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. More darkness. Okay, come on, take that. Dun, 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 dun. There'll probably be more shadows all over the place, but probably down here as well, first and foremost. Just in that little corner by the hand. And there'll be probably shadows on the bottom here. This would also technically probably all be shadows. That's fine, we'll figure that out later. More shadows on the nail. Same thing here. Blur them all together like so. You just keep going with the shadow. I can blur this bit too. This is technically all supposed to probably be shadowed in. Perfect. Then we're gonna move on. Just keep going. Some shading all here too. Maybe this will be a little bit brighter. I don't want to keep too much of this dark. I can add maybe some highlight there. And then maybe we'll go darker down here. Take a little bit of that shading. There we are. Perfect. Continue. Then the droopy bits, I also need to figure out the color for those and how that's going to work, but they're going to probably have like much smaller, finer shading. This bit here I can do. that maybe. Perfect. That's all darker. And then from there, just keep blurring. I mean, I'll add the black afterwards, it's fine, we'll figure that out. Interesting. This is fine. I mean, there's lots of little like holes and gaps and stuff. This is kind of falling apart or being half like transformed as we speak. So we'll have it semi-deconstructed. Let me erase this too. This blood is maybe a little bit darker as well. So is all of this. And there'll probably just be some highlights. So this should all be shaded, but there'll just be highlights on it afterwards as well. Highlight. Some darkness there. And then darker bits here. Now then, I need to, okay, right, this finger we need to finish. Darker shadows here. There will be some kind of occlusion shadows and other bits and pieces, but I'll add those after the fact. That's actually a fancy new term I just learned. Maybe, yeah, something like that. Okay, perfect. Shadow like so. Move on like this. Just keep blurring it. Perfect. There we go. Now then, I feel like that is mostly done. I can add another shadow here probably. There we go. So. This is probably also all going to be shadowed, but there's going to be an even darker shadow underneath it. Okay. From there, do I start with the highlights or do I start with the really, really, really dark shadows? Because if we're doing that, like the really deep red, how deep is this? Perfect. Down, down, down. You know, that actually works great. That's exactly what I wanted. I mean, it darkens the other, no. I just want to darken this. Technically, it's also not fully opaque. There should be some transparency to it. So I don't want to be completely dark, but there should be just a little tad, maybe. Perfect. Now we'll just add the darkness down there, and then this little gap down here as well. And technically there should be kind of like some lightness to this, because there is some light hitting it like right there. But there we actually, you know what? There we go. And we can recolor around the edges. Perfect. And then let me just blur this. Okay. From there, I guess we'll probably just keep going. Does that still work? Maybe, probably, hopefully. I have, you know what, I have these little guys here, which we can do. So in the center, it would probably be darkest. Okay, perfect. So we have those kind of like cut marks there, which works fine. I'd say maybe, you know what we can do is we can take this darker color and we can kind of fill that in, because this would be what's behind it. Maybe this is a little bit brighter, should be. Like, it's still dark, but it's not the same darkness as what's in here. Da, 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 ba, 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 ba. Perfect, like this. I think almost, maybe I could add some lines in there of like very bright red, just to keep in mind that it's still the blood. Da, 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 da. Fill this bit here. Perfect, so we'll keep going. This spot as well. Okay, no, that would be less dark there. There should be some red peeking through. Most of it is going to be centered here, but still. Okay. I'm just going to kind of keep blending this away. Like that. Da, 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 da. Fill this bit here with darkness. Okay. It's okay. We'll add a brighter red underneath in a moment. Eventually. Da, 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 da. That darkness going under there as well. And then maybe we'll start to do a tiny bit of highlighting after this. Da, da. Okay, there we go. That's Black Catcher Plan. That's one of the only ones I know. Maybe I should zoom out a bit. That might actually help. Maybe I get some red going in there too again. Let's redo that. And there we go, and there's some red. Shadows over here. Williams SM, sure thing. Thank you so much. Maybe later or after stream, but... But thank you, I appreciate it. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Name's Sheshire. Okay, I need to blend this in by grabbing some red. I'll clear that up, get the darker color again. Dun, dun, dun. Let's zoom out. And just kind of the darker occlusion shadows in the hand. So go over here. What else? So this is technically, this should all be dark. And then this should be dark as well here, behind the hand, the little bits that are spinning. Okay, so I can add darkness in other places, but I'll kind of wait and see and figure out where the light is coming from. I think the next best bet is probably to start with some highlighty bits. So let me just continue with the shadows, because there probably isn't enough here. Let me just fill all of the space, and then we'll fill down here too. Go like that. Okay, go down here. There might be some light hitting, but I don't really think it's much, if anything. Especially underneath the hand and from that angle, so I can cover everything here. Perfect. I'll probably just add some shadows and stuff underneath that. Okay, perfect. Now then, the highlighted red will be something bright like that. So we have what? This bit here. So we have that bit. I'll probably blend it just a little bit. Do it elsewhere. There's probably going to be some white and other stuff. I don't really know necessarily how the rendering on this is going to work, but we'll get there. And then we'll add maybe some here. Might kind of erase the line that's in the middle of the nail here, because if we have it flat, it'll be maybe a little bit more texture. Okay, this might help. Now I'll go back down. I'll kind of add that bit there. Perfect. Also, wait, you know what? I need to refresh my alerts. I forget to do that every time. Perfect. Show the hand again. Perfect. Okay. This little bit. Grab that. How bright is that color? It feels like it's not bright at all. Maybe a little bit more vibrant, like so. Okay, continue like this. Cruel Angel Thesis is always amazing. I love this song. Kind of keep going. Perfect. So just, you know, continue with this bit here, and then up the nail as well. Start to blend them, like so. Go down like so, continue to blend this. Okay, that's fine. Just keep going. So then from there, I can take that brighter color and we'll start adding it in places that would be saturated or kind of have that highlight. It's going to soften up some of those edges, but I can leave other ones kind of sharp. Blend that. Can blend all of this here. That would be much of a softer edge. Okay. From there, if I have maybe some white down here, it'll be blurry, but I can add a much lighter color afterwards, and I can do a little white line to make it have that liquidy effect. Okay, I'll let you guys observe it. Maybe we'll just leave it there. What are we thinking so far? I don't know. It's interesting. So let me make sure that the actual chats and everything else is still live and I haven't accidentally destroyed something horrifically. Perfect. Let's see. Red, we still alive? Okay, purple, everything is fine. Green, everyone is still okay. We're all still alive. Okay, great, perfect. YouTube, good, okay. Nothing terrible has happened. We've avoided catastrophe. tab back over. It always takes a second. There we go. We're backing up. So now then, what are we doing with the rest of it? I mean, if I have what, blood, like something here. Just a blurry streak. I can blur most of these. Now then, maybe we'll flatten out, have the edge like that. No, wrong button. I need to get the blending tool out. Go something like that. I can kind of just take swipes at it to cut into the shape. So it isn't kind of perfect. We do have some breaks and bits and pieces and that sort of jazz. Maybe let's not do that on the nail too much, just to keep the texture a little bit different. But I can cut into it here on the actual finger. Perfect. So then from there, I can add maybe some bits and pieces of lighting effects on the blood here. Blend some of it. Some of it can stay more solid color, contrasty. This should also maybe be much darker. Perfect. Lighter color towards the bottom, because more of the light is going to be reaching it. I grabbed the wrong color. Whoops, that was way too dark. Some light color around this here. Perfect. Okay, I want to get a really dark color now so we can do the occlusion shadows and have that much deeper kind of dark color in there. But I think also what I want to do is I kind of want to get some of the color in this tube here because there is supposed to be some blood as well. I want to figure that out. Maybe we get some of this and we'll do, what do the tubes look like? Right, interesting. Right. Okay, maybe I'll just fill them up with red first. I can deal with the other bits afterward. Make them slightly larger. Just fill the tube like so, and then the crystal's also probably going to be much lighter of a red. The shading on that is going to be a little bit interesting, maybe a little bit different, because there is some sort of see-throughness with them. Continue like that. Need to work on not zooming in too much, because I feel like that slows me down. It doesn't really help anybody. Perfect, there we are. I might need to add the other bit of the tube, but I feel like even the continuation, it disappears behind the head, so it's not too bad, that's fine. Okay, and then also I want some of the tubes to be kind of clear, because the blood wouldn't, I think, be fully rushing. I want it maybe to not be full, if that makes any sense. Right, like it's kind of sloshing around, a little bit balanced. Oh, VTube Studio is trying to sabotage me again. Good, back you. Let me have Grim. Let me have Grim. Come on. Grim. Okay. I'm alive again. There we go. Perfect. Continue with the blood like that? Okay, that's fine. And I have the tube somewhere behind here. There we go. And I also don't know how much blood I want to fill in this tube here. Maybe there's some behind, like that. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then we can probably, what she has, she has the dark eyes. So maybe I get some, like, deep, kind of green, gray, sort of muddy color there. And I can get that really kind of light, pearlescent, kind of glowing green color. We want maybe a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more lime green. Something like that. And we're just going to blur it a little bit. Nope, way too big. Okay, that's smaller. It's okay. It's okay, it just glows a little bit. Perfect. I mean, it kind of stands out like that. It's interesting. So from there, what am I going to do next? I mean, almost the yellow, which we could add to the center of the eye, sort of. Right, kind of a glow to it almost. Perfect. That's fine. And then from there, I mean, I could start with some of the hair. That's probably simple. Her hair is mostly finished. But I do want to do a little bit more of the hand. I mean, her dress is mostly fine to start. Same thing with the leg shoes. Really, I just need to kind of clean up this torso bit, and then the gems, that's all a mess. Decisions. Maybe I move that, censor it a little bit. Interesting. What do I want to do? Maybe we, yeah, you know what, maybe we move on to the hair. I can get some of that dark going. It's not anything crazy, it's kind of a lighter gray. And the face, so that'll be alright. Something light, like so. I feel like it seems dark now, but that's just because it's not next to anything else. I mean, it's next to gray and white, so this will look incredibly dark. But I feel like next to the rest of her hair, this will seem much lighter. I should probably zoom out. Zooming in is just going to slow me down. Zoom out, Sheshire. What are you doing? Zoom out. Come on. Okay, self-control. I will grab some of this dark color. There we go. It's okay, then we can kind of blend this down. How did I know? How did I know that was going to be the song? What is this, like a 7 Deadly Sins opening or something like that? I always get them confused. Okay, perfect. So we have hair like that. I feel like, is her hair towards the end? Oh, it is lighter too. Interesting. So it's mostly the hair towards the top that's darker. okay. I can kind of blend them. I mean, it doesn't really do much. A lot of the blending is going to be towards the end anyways. It's okay, there'll be some light blending here. Just to blend the hell out of that, it'll be much lighter. There we go. Some shadows there. Okay, get that lighter bit. Okay, I feel like, you know what I can do right now? Actually, it's okay. Let me zoom in here. There is supposed to be like a strand of hair sticking out in front, actually. Let me get a darker color. And then it gets really light towards the end, almost kind of pink and gray, so we can do some of that. Maybe very vaguely, but it's still kind of there. Also, if anything, the hair would be kind of dark in front of the eye, because if it is glowing or it has sort of that soft glow, there would be a shadow cast from it on the other side of the hair. Okay, same thing with the hair here. There should be sort of like maybe some of that red-gray tinge to it. Perfect. I think that's fine. I think that kind of works. I'm going to go in maybe one of the other layers and clean up a little bit here, because there's some kind of shadow and messes that I can get rid of. Perfect. Perfect. Now we can continue with the other hair. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Shiza. Let's go back here. There we go. It's really much better. Before I start accidentally blending things in the line art layer, and then everything becomes an absolute mess. Let's get some of this light red-gray there again. Get some of that shadow up there too. Oh, is this crossing field? Look, I might have just realized that. I'm a little slow. You can just continue with this all here. Ba, ba, ba. Get a little bit lighter with the hair, maybe. Perfect. I feel like it darkens it on your end, but if I maybe if I try and move this here, it'll show better. No, it just gets much darker. Interesting. It's not like if I... What did I just do? No. No, 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 no. There we go. Let me brighten the screen up a bit. Does that do anything? Not really. I mean, you guys can kind of see, but just assuming it's going to be a little bit brighter. For some reason, this makes it so dark. I don't know why. There we go. I feel like, okay, this is a little bit lighter, but that's fine. A little different shades of gray and stuff in our hair. We'll just kind of keep going. That black hair. Okay. Was there no gray? Let's do one thing. Okay, let's move that, like so. We'll fill this in here. Perfect. Now I can go back in the other layer and continue coloring. Don't want this to fall over. Stay up. Perfect. Okay, so this is all kind of much lighter towards the bottom anyways. Maybe it kind of blends out, but other than the black, like occlusion's probably here. And then maybe this bit here, there isn't really much that's that dark. The rest of it is kind of this relatively light gray color. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Da, da. Perfect. And then from there, I mean, probably we can continue with these bits here. They kind of get darker towards the bottom, which is interesting. Normally it doesn't happen like that. Usually it's like the roots that are darker, but not the other way around. So we'll just continue like so. Shading the bits of hair, and then the underneath seems to be much lighter. It's almost like a white gray. So we'll do that. Maybe tomorrow we'll focus on the jewelry and then cleaning up the sketch, and we can move on to male monarch. And I also want to do the background, which we're gonna figure out afterwards. Perfect. And we'll blend that. There we are. Some of this can still remain dark, perhaps. Like this might also still be gray. This definitely. This is hair that's hanging over. But the actual hair behind can stay this light color here. So this bottom, all of this will be light. Yeah, it's fine. There's going to be bits of gray and black there, but I can figure that out. So a lot of that underneath. I see. Perfect. So this actually shouldn't be filled in. This would just be blank. Let me get rid of this. I feel like I meant there to be gaps on purpose. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Now I can go back here. Perfect. We can also continue all this down here. Maybe, you know, I can fill out the beads later. I'll just fill all this up. And then we'll continue up here and fill all in this direction. Perfect. then all of this as well. I just want to be careful with getting the blood a different color, because I want to keep that so that I don't get it mixed up later, because then that'll be a pain. It's okay, I can kind of blend the two. That'll be fine. It's really still some gray in parts of this, and that's okay. Perfect. All that light gray there as well. Okay, so from there, move on to the last bit of the hair here, fill this out. Might need to clean up some of the sketch before we finish, but that'll be good. Dun, dun, dun. Probably have to add another bit for where that tube is coming from, but because I think it definitely would reach behind where those ears are. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this should all kind of be darkness and gray and stuff over here. There we go. Perfect. We can kind of fill out the rest of the hair bits up here. Nope, it's way too much. Maybe make them a little bit lighter just so I can see and I can add shading afterwards. It's always easier to go darker. Like that. There we go. I can color in the hair bits. It's funny how the difference is basically non-existent for you guys, which I apologize. I don't know if there's a way that I can up it, but at least for me, the color, you can tell a little bit more. I'll just continue like so. Let me add some of that lighter color. Come on. I don't know why it's doing this. It's being stupid. Okay, there we go. I can add the shadow under here. This hair is all technically supposed to be just basically black anyways. You're not going to see any of that. Da, da, da. I'll make this all much darker. Yep, JoJo's the next one. I knew it. Da, ba, ba, da, 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 da. Okay, so if I know what I'm doing, which I may or may not, we're going to fill in the rest of this here, and I also need to zoom out. Bad Sheshire, don't do that. Da, da, da. We'll continue like so. Perfect. Fill all that as well. Technically this should be filled. I'll add the shading afterwards, it's fine. We're just going to make it gray, get the base color done, and then it'll be easier to figure out what we're doing later. Da, da, Down, down, down. Make it darker, just make it exist, and you can make it pretty later. I feel like that's a very good saying. I appreciate that. And I can make this dark too. Make this a little bit bigger and we can blend them. Perfect. And I guess we can make the pieces that are facing us darker, like the back of the hair, and then the ones that aren't fully facing us we'll make lighter, like the underneath side of the hair. I'm just zooming in so I can get those tiny little pieces. And it's upside down now. Let me flip it back. Sorry about that. Perfect. There we go. Okay, then I can get the very dark color, and I can go something like here, like that. Probably not the best, but that's okay. Like so. Perfect. Okay, we'll continue to color this. Just go like so. And then the rest of this bottom bit here we can make gray as well. Perfect. There we are. And then from there, these little bits which are underneath. The rest of them are going to be in that lighter gray color. Down. And then continue to fill this bit. Get a little bit darker shading like this. Perfect. Just continue with all these little bits and pieces here. I wonder if I can kind of color fill that. Yes, I can. Perfect. And the rest is relatively simple after that. No, that's way too big. Let's make it smaller. Okay. Perfect. And we'll add that bit. And then, no, the rest of that is the hand anyways. There's no, wouldn't be appropriate to make that the hair color. There we go. Perfect. Now, I guess if it is being kicked up a little bit, technically this bit would be the darker color because it's being swept from behind. Dun, 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 dun. Perfect. And then I'll continue with this. It's upside down, which I apologize for. Don't mind me. I swear to God, I'm going to give somebody a stroke one of these days. If y'all have epilepsy, I am so sorry. One of these days, somebody new is going to come into my chat with epilepsy. I'm going to flip the canvas 370 degrees, and I'm going to set them off, and then they're going to die. And I'm going to be on the news. I haven't done as much, which I think is an improvement. I mean, it's very slight, but still. Okay. There we are. I mean, it's getting there, little by little. Slowly but surely. Who surely? Da, 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 da. See, we got some blood done, and then bits and pieces of the hair for Layna. Now I'm thinking it might, I mean, it's getting late for me. I know it isn't going to be long, but I figured if I stream at least a little bit, it'd be better than having no stream. Let me just, you know, check and see. I'll try and be back tomorrow longer. I'm debating if I end here, because hasn't been long. It's only been an hour, but... I might be ending it soon for today, actually. You know what? Maybe a little bit more tweaking on Layna's hair. We can do bits and pieces. I might add some blush, and then... Ooh, actually, we can paint the skin tone in the ear, but I can't stay for too much longer, though. Unfortunately, tomorrow I'll be back. Probably midday around 12 EST, or either 12 or 4, one or the other. I'm probably leaning towards 12. And that way my overseas viewers can make it. I'm also trying to figure out a consistent time, and once we set it, I can actually be back and do longer hours. I just had some stuff come up today, but that's okay. Okay, so we'll pop this back open. Maybe we'll sketch for a couple more minutes, and that's it for today, but I appreciate you all coming. I appreciate you all so, so much. Okay, let's do a little bit more. A little bit more work on the hair, and then we will end it there, but let's see. I can get this lighter skin tone, and then we'll add it to the ear. And then we'll get some of this rouge color. Yeah, maybe I can get a bit of white. And then almost maybe like a red or something. I don't necessarily know what color to make the inside of the mouth there, unfortunately. Well, no, it should be kind of closer to white for teeth. Let me get that color there around the mouth as well. I can make it a little bit more vibrant. A little bit brighter too. It's okay, it looks rough right now, but we'll just blend it. And there we are. And then from there, maybe some of this shadowy bits for underneath the mouth, like so. And then same thing, maybe under the nose a little bit. And then I can add maybe some light red blotches around the face and eyes, like this. Maybe that's why the red color is going into the hair. Maybe it's literally just from blending on the face. That might honestly be it, because I feel like, yeah, the ears definitely have it too, and they get kind of red towards the ends. Really red toward the one end. Let me get that. It's almost like a blood red in here. That's very red, and then this gets kind of just blended out. Like so. Da, 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 da. A little bit more red in here. Perfect. I don't want to be too bright because her skin is already very, very pale, so I don't feel like she has the brightest complexions or undertones, so we don't want it to be too vibrant, and then I can blend this out again. There we go. Da, da, da. Perfect. There we go. Some progress. It's better than nothing. Let me make it a little bit darker for this neck. You can have it be something like that. Perfect. Okay. So maybe next time what we're going to do is we're going to have like the occlusion shadows and the darker bits and the bloody hand, and then we can kind of move on to some highlighting here and there. Then we'll move on to cleaning up the sketch, and we can finally finish up the shading the day after. So we're probably going to get done sometime soon, and then I can finally put out maybe some more shorts about it. And then planning, I think I'm going to turn this into a long form video on YouTube. It might be my first one, so that's going to be interesting when my new mic finally gets here, which was delayed, unfortunately, because the delivery service hates me, which is fine. That's okay. There we go. Look at that. Let me zoom out. Got some work done today. Interesting. I mean, it's getting there, slowly but surely. Alrighty, let's see. Everyone's still alive. We're all still there. Perfect. Red side, green side is still okay. Alrighty. I know it's only been a bit, but I think that might be where we end today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back more often from there. But yeah, glad to spend at least a little bit of time with you guys. Thank you on everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, I see you all. I appreciate it. Fortunately, I think I can only really raid on Twitch, which is unfortunate. We'll get there eventually on Kick and YouTube. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid into. Let me open the creator dashboard. Finally figured out how this works. And let me see. Stream manager. Okay, let me find if there's somebody. I think the funny thing is on Kick, it's like a minimum amount of viewers, which is fine. And then on YouTube, it's like a ridiculous amount. You need to be at least at like 5K for it to work or something like that. I think that's what the number it told me was. That's a little bit wild. What do you want to do? We could do Nia or Allegra, but I feel like... I feel like Chelzor. We've been doing a lot of Chelzor. We could just do that again. Is she not? Swear to God, where did she go? Where did Chelzor go? Oh, there she is. You know what? Let's do that. Okay, alrighty. We're gonna raid into Chelzor. Thank you so much for coming by. I'm sorry it was so short, but I appreciate you all so much. We'll see you all probably tomorrow around 12 EST, and that'll probably be a closer, more consistent time. If I'm gonna change it, I'll let you guys know, but I appreciate you all so much for coming. Let's give Chelzor, she's doing some reacts. Lovely cat VTuber, she's amazing, go check her out. And send her some love for me. Alrighty. Thank you so much everybody for coming by. My name is Sheshire, that was the most funny jester, and I will see you all later. Bye.